Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good afternoon. For today, we are going to look into the entrepreneurial goals and context. As already informed last week that the three topics with regards to entrepreneurship as well as the relationship between entrepreneurship and innovation will be covered in this 1 hour session. So we will look into the aspect of invention, innovation, and entrepreneurship. For those who are already in your second semester or your third semester in this Master of Innovation and Engineering Design program, you have already gone through the definition with regards to what is invention, what is innovation, and who are inventors and something related to that. So for today, we will just touch upon the relationship between invention, innovation, as well as entrepreneurship. And then we will go into the aspect of research and development in small business, and we'll touch a little bit on social innovation. Okay, and then we will wrap up our session today on the subtopic of innovation, globalization, and development with respect to countries, and we will look at Malaysia as the case study. Right. In terms of the learning outcomes, so basically learning outcomes are the promise, meaning that these are the things that you as a student should be able to do or to perform. The first one is that you are going to be able to define invention, innovation, as well as entrepreneurship. And you are also be able to explain what is research and development in small business, why is it important, why R&D is also applicable to small businesses, not only to big giant companies, right? And we will also look into, you should be able to describe social innovation, identifying what is social innovation, example of social innovation, and at least come up with an idea what is actually social innovation all about. And finally, you are also be able to relate innovation, globalization, and development. How innovation relate to the status of a country. How what is a global innovation index (GII), and how can innovation propel the quality of life and the economy of a country. Okay, the first one, invention, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Okay, so probably by this time you have something in mind. What is actually invention? You have already heard about inventors, whether you have already invent something or you have already improved things before in your life, in your career as student, as workers in the industry. And what is the level of invention, whether the invention is ready to be marketable, or the invention are still at the infant stage, right? So according to the NASA, National Administrative for Aerospace and Aeronautics in the United States, they define the invention level to have at least 9 levels, from technology readiness level 1 until TRL or technology readiness level number 9. Okay. As well as innovation. So what is innovation? How can your invention can be turned into innovation? And how are we going to, when are we going to say an invention are already gone through the process of innovation, right? Whether when you invent something, you say it is an invention, but what happened after that? Can you sell your invention? Okay, and how can you say that your invention has already achieved the status of innovation? All right. So, and finally, entrepreneurship. Maybe you heard this before, outside the class, in your life. You heard entrepreneurship, entrepreneurship, and entrepreneurship. There are also technopreneurship, right? So we will look into the relation between the three. All right. So quickly on innovation. Innovation is about identifying or creating opportunities. So when we can identify opportunities or creating opportunities, that is what we say innovation. All right. And innovation can also be defined as new ways of serving existing market. Right, so we will go through one by one later on. So this just to highlight what are the potential definition on innovation. It can be new ways of serving existing markets, and then innovation can also be called growing new markets. When you say innovation, is basically you are growing new markets on top of existing market, right? And it can also be about rethinking services, right? So you have already done things again and again for quite some time. Then when you do rethink about ways of doing services, giving services, is about innovation, right? And then innovation is also about meeting social needs as well as improving operations. So if you can see here, if we look at the definition of innovation by textbook, it says that any invention that can turn into money, meaning that you can there is a transaction of dollar and cent, dinar or ringgit or yuan, and so you name it, it's the currency. There must be a transaction between the inventor or the salesperson, the company, to the client, right? Then you say it is about innovation. But looking at this definition, it's not just about money transaction. It's about creating other things, new things, meeting social needs, improving operation can also be defined as innovation. Let us move into the explanation one by one. What we can explain here. I'm not intend to go through all the examples that being highlighted in this particular slide, but innovation, when we say it is about identifying or creating opportunities, innovation is driven by the ability to see connections, to spot opportunities, and to take advantage of them. Sometimes this is about completely new possibilities. For example, by exploiting radical breakthrough in technology. All right. So what we can say here, for example, like given example here, mobile phones, tablet, other devices have revolutionized where and when we communicate. And because if we go back in time, maybe 30, 40, 50 years in time, right? Maybe beyond our lifetime, right? You can see when people want to communicate, they use telegram, right? They use telegram, they use Scotmos, they use letters, and then they use before that they use people to send messages, people riding horses to give message from one city to another city. But then of course there is an opportunity over there to improve the communication by having a devices. We started to have landline telephones, and then from landline we have satellite phones, and then we having mobile phones, and that have already revolutionized where and when we communicate. That is about identifying or creating opportunities. And the other one is about new drugs based on genetic manipulation have opened a major new front in the war against disease. So when there is a problem in the issues like having for example, like we have COVID-19, so there is an opportunity to combat COVID-19 by producing new drugs, or going for genetic manipulation in order for to combat the disease. And this is about, that's what added innovation in this first definition, right? And then the next one is about new ways of serving existing market, right? So you can quickly identify here the logos of low cost airline, AirAsia, EasyJet, Ryanair, and many others in the world. They are basically, innovation isn't just about opening new market, but it can also offers new ways of serving existing or mature ones. For example, here, low cost airline are still about transportation. People moving from one city to another city, but the innovation firms like this kind of airline have introduced or revolutionized air travel and grown the market in the process, because by having low cost, people just pay the services that they require. All right, so not just low cost airline, there are also ultra low cost airline. So even if you do not need anything except you have to sit, so you still have to buy a chair on the aircraft. You cannot stand, but maybe, who knows, in the near future, those who do not require any sitting, they can just stand like in the bus. So new ways of serving existing market. So you can try by having this one example, you may want to find other examples about ways of serving existing market. For just a good one is when we had our COVID-19, people having lockdown, you cannot go to the supermarket, you cannot go to the shops. So, but we go for online shopping. People, we buy online, and someone will just send it to us, like having a Grab Food Panda, Food Panda, and many others. So there's also new ways of serving existing market example, right? The third one is about growing new market. Innovation is also about growing new market. Equally important is the ability to spot where and how new market can be created and grown, right? Classical example, Sir Henry Ford, which a person who may not have invented the motor car, but he's the person who actually making the Model T. There's the car that he made for every man, affordable pricing for every person. So he then grew the mass market for personal transportation. So that what Sir Henry Ford has done. And then another example given here, Alexander Graham Bell invention of the telephone didn't lead to an overnight revolution in communication. That depended on developing the market for person-to-person communication. So growing new market is about trying to venture new areas. People don't sell that before, and then suddenly you come in and producing new things where it create new market, not just new product, is a new market, like transportation, like communication, and so on. And try to find other example to apart from these two. And innovation is also about rethinking services, right? So you try to think about new services that can be implemented. In most economics, the service sector account for the vast majority of activity. So there is likely to be plenty of scope, and the lower capital costs often mean that the opportunities for new entrants and radical change are greatest in the service sector. So like online banking, insurance have become commonplace, but they have radically transformed the efficiency with which those sectors work and the range of services that they can provide. Like what, for example, like online banking, we used to have to go to the bank for all activities, to withdraw money, to open new account, to transfer money, and all sort of activities in the bank. But you do not require to do that now, because we have online banking. Even for to pay. Let's say you go to the even Bazaar Ramadan. You go to the shops. You go to the malls. Small stalls, a goreng pisang stall. You can pay using QR code, and that is a new ways of rethinking services. Of course, before we can use money, you have to use money. You bring ringgit to the Bazaar Ramadan, but now you can always pay online. You just scan the QR code and then you can pay the seller immediately. All right. So the other aspect of innovation is meeting social needs, and this is probably something that you not familiar before. We thought that innovation is about having money transaction, but it is also as in the aspect of meeting social needs. Innovation offers huge challenges and opportunities for the public sector. Pressure to deliver more and better services without increasing the tax burden is puzzle likely to keep many civil servants awake at night, but it's not an impossible dream where right across the spectrum there are examples of innovation changing the way the sector works. For example, like in this logo, healthcare, all right? In healthcare, there have been major improvement in efficiencies around key targets such as waiting time in hospital. A good example given here, hospital like in the UK, in Leicester Royal Infirmary, or Karolinska Hospital in Stockholm in Sweden, managed to have radical improvement in the speed, quality, and effectiveness. For example, like if you go to Malaysian hospital, public hospital, you have to queue, you have to come very early. For example, if your appointment at 8, you come at 7:30, it doesn't mean that at 8 o'clock you will get the appointment. You still have to wait, even though you're being given appointment at 8 o'clock in the morning, but it is basically first come first serve basis. But basically, this system they have like an app system to ensure the patient will get their appointment on time. This will definitely cutting waiting list for doing surgical or cancellation and so on and so forth. So just to improve healthcare services. Of course, there are many others. For example, like you have apps to know when the bus will be coming to your bus stop, or apps that highlight, okay, the next train or the next LRT will come in 2 minutes or 5 minutes time, and then so you do not have to waste your time waiting, right? That's about social needs, and there are many other examples that you can find outside there. And then the last one is about improving operations and doing what we do but better, right? So example given here is a iron ore company in South Africa, right? So they can provide their operations better. In this particular example or aspect, improving operation, we have so many examples. So to provide better services to the public, to run at low cost, lean management, and so many other good examples. Right. How about entrepreneurship? And what is the relation between innovation that we have already defined just now and entrepreneurship? Innovation matters, but it does not happen automatically. Okay, it is driven by entrepreneurship. So it's not about the invention. When you invent something, it become an innovation straight away. No. So it is not automatically. It is basically driven by entrepreneurship, because once you have ideas, you realize it, and the way you want to bring your idea to market, it is driven by entrepreneurship. And it is actually a potent mixture of vision, passion, energy, enthusiasm, insight, judgment, and plain hard work, which enable good ideas to become reality. So ideas go when you translate it into market, right? So you can, the idea can be used by the consumer, the client. So the power behind changing products, processes, and services comes from individuals, okay? Right? Whether acting alone or embedded within organization who make innovation happen. So like in other literature saying that the innovation can be done by one person or can be done in groups or via organization. All right. The famous management writer, Peter Drucker, if you want to Google his name, you will find so many article or books from Mr. Peter Drucker. He mentioned that innovation is the specific tool of entrepreneurs, and the means by which they exploit change as an opportunity for a different business or service. It is capable of being presented as a discipline, capable of being learned, as well as capable of being practiced. That's what we intend, the aim of this Master of Innovation and Engineering Design is basically to have this, meaning that it is a discipline on its own. So you can teach innovation, you can practice innovation, right? So that's what Peter Drucker highlighted here. Okay, entrepreneurship plays out on different stages in practice. So you can say that when you invent something, you design new solution, you come up with problem solving, you are actually going through the process of entrepreneurship. Because at the end of the day, whether you sell, you be able to sell the product or not, you are actually going through the process of entrepreneurship. One obvious example is the startup venture, in which lone entrepreneur takes a calculated risk to bring something new into the world. All right. But entrepreneurship matters just as much to the established organization, which needs to renew itself in what it offers and how it creates and delivers that offering. So internal entrepreneurs, right? So normally in a company you have internal entrepreneurs. External entrepreneurs is people who are having outside, often labeled as intrapreneurs or working in corporate entrepreneurship or corporate ventures department. Provide the drive, the energy and vision to take these new ideas forward within that context. Normally in the organization you have R&D department, right? R&D, research and development department, but rarely you have an innovation department. So but now if you look at many big companies like Intel, even in aerospace, Airbus or Boeing or even UMW or Proton, so they themselves, or even Google, they have innovation department, right? So to translate the idea that being mooted or being created in the research department as well as development department and translate that into reality, going through commercialization. Okay. And of course, the passion to change things may not be focused on creating commercial value, but rather an improving conditions or enabling change in the wider social sphere or in the direction of environmental sustainability, a field which has now known as social entrepreneurship. Okay, let us look into this comparison, a table of innovation that create commercial value, that is normal, that what business companies are doing, right? At the same time, we have another one, an innovation that creates social value. All right, let us look into the normal one, creating commercial value. Where if you look at companies, startup companies, growth company that growth after a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, then 3 to 5 years or beyond that, you sustain and scale up, and then there are also companies that are being renewed. So Basically, creating commercial value, individual entrepreneur exploiting new technology or market opportunity, and then they move into the growth of their company, growing the business through adding new products. You start with one product, you can then have multiple products or having new services, moving into new market, and then beyond 3 to 5 years, building a portfolio of incremental and radical innovation to sustain the business. Beyond 3 to 5 years, we can say that you can survive for the rest of your life. Like marriage, you get married 1 year, or it is just a startup. Then 2 or 3 years, you started to have child, maybe two children. So and then beyond that, you are already established. You having the child already grown up, and you become successful in your career. So similar to a company. If you don't go through this, that's where company become bankrupt, or business are not doing well. People in marriage, people divorce. So that is quite similar to in business. And with regard to renew, returning to the radical frame breaking kind of innovation which began the business and enables it to move forward or something very different. So beyond that, some companies, they decided to sell off their company, or they move into a different totally new areas, providing new market areas. So that is what we call it as a renew stage. With regard to creating social value, all right, this is not about money transaction. Of course, it costs money to create social innovation, but it's about giving back to the society, right? Social entrepreneur passionately concerned to improve or change something in their immediate environment, developing the ideas and engaging others, creating network, getting support, right, from stakeholders, okay, and then they can always sustain and scale up, spreading the idea widely. More people get involved, more people coming in to contribute, okay, and then of course renew, changing the system, and then acting as agent for the next wave of change. And that's is so the totally two different aspect of innovation, life cycle of an organization, whether you are creating commercial value or creating social value. Right. Let us move into the second part of the presentation. We look into research development in small business. Innovation doesn't happen simply because we hope it will. It's not just you think, oh, I want to do innovation. It is actually a complex process and carries risk and needs careful and systematic management. Okay, innovation isn't a single event. It's like the light bulb going off above a cartoon character set. It's not just a ting, you get some idea, okay, innovation happening. Is actually an extended process of picking up ideas for change and turning them through into effective reality. Right. So the core process involves 4 steps when you want to talk about R&D in small business. The first one, recognizing opportunities, then finding resources, developing venture, as well as capturing value. And the challenge comes in doing this in an organized fashion, right? And being able to repeat the right. So you have to be organized in order for you to be a successful entrepreneurship in small business. Later in your exercise, I'm going to explain to you in our next future lecture on how you do a startup to bring your idea to market. Right. So this core process, there are the 4 core processes, doesn't take place in vacuum. We also know that it is strongly influenced by many factors. Okay. In particular, innovation needs clear strategic leadership and direction. So the CEO, the managing director, the vice chancellor, the boss must have focused direction, right? Commitment of resources. They have to not just by word of mouth. They just say it, but they don't provide resources, people, money, okay, infrastructure to make innovation happen. The second aspect is that innovation in organization in which the structure and climate enables people to deploy creativity and share knowledge to bring about change. So that's why I mentioned earlier, there are organizations having a dedicated unit or department to look into innovation, right? And then proactive links across boundaries inside the organization and to many external agencies, because there are cases, okay, companies, departments, they are working in silos, like what we have in universities. So engineering faculty just work in engineering faculty. They don't talk with economy faculty. They don't talk with agriculture faculty, or they don't talk with other field of study in the university. That's why most of the time the innovative idea does not come into the picture quickly. It will take some time. So there must be a way to bridge the gap, to break the wall or the boundaries inside the organization in order to have a successful innovation in the company. Okay, the third part of my presentation is social innovation. Right. From Stanford Business School, this definition from Stanford Business School website, social innovation provides a unique opportunity to step back from narrow way of thinking about social enterprises, doing business engagement and philanthropy, and to recognize instead the interconnectedness of various factors and stakeholders. And that's what is social innovation all about. And further to that, the author here, Sarah, Neil, and Bernadette from the same school, Stanford, how they define social innovation. They define it as the process of developing and deploying effective solution to challenging and often systemic social and environmental issue. Right? It can be social issue. It can be environmental issue to support social progress. And social innovation is not the prerogative or privilege of any organization. It's not the privilege of the government. It's not the privilege of a company. It's actually the responsibility of the society and the people at large. Okay, solution often require active collaboration of all constituents across government, business, and the non-profit world. So what we can say here is about the movement, the society, the people who can solve the issues, right? So it's not about the government, it's not about the companies, it's all about everybody. How social innovation differs from social entrepreneurship. So again, from Stanford Business School, they mentioned here, although social entrepreneurship has become a popular rallying point for those trying to improve the world, okay, like this is quite familiar, where business companies that are very successful, they do charity, right? They do charity. They spend money for the orphanage to give them food, to give them education. They build many charity activities. That's what social entrepreneurship. But social innovation, the concept of social innovation focuses attention on the ideas and solution that create social issues, not just giving the society things that what society wants, but actually solving the issues. That's what the difference, the two difference between social entrepreneurship and social innovation. All right. So a good example here, there are three examples. Okay, I hope we can go through all of it. Uh, Namely, fair trade, an organized movement that establish high trade standard for coffee, chocolate, sugar, and other products by certifying traders that pay producers a living wage and meet other social and environmental standards. The fair trade movement improves farmers' life and promotes environmental sustainability. So basically, we used to hear the farmers that plant uh, coffee plant, or they sugar cane. So they are not wealthy. The farmers are still poor because the middle people and the middlemen that or the big companies, they buy from the farmers very cheap, very low price. So and then they produce it, they process it, and then they sell it to the market at a higher price. So who is the culprit here? Basically the middleman and the traders. Okay, so fair trade an organization, so they come into the picture, and basically they certify traders to pay more reasonable price to the farmers, as well as to promote environmental sustainability. That's what's one example of social innovation. So the other two, probably you want to explore on yourself about charter school, emission trading, and so because we are running out of time, hopefully we can finish by in 10 or 15 minutes time. So I want you to probably Google the charter school and look at how charter school activities or initiative can contribute to social innovation, at the same time emissions trading. All right. Social innovation drivers. We observe how cross-sector fertilization underlies the three mechanisms that are driving contemporary social innovation. So the first one is exchange of ideas and values, shift in roles and relationship, integration of private capital with public and philanthropic support. Ultimately, the most difficult and important problems cannot be understood, let alone solved, without involving the non-profit, public, as well as the private sectors. Okay, it is a huge responsibilities to solve or to embark in social innovation. Right. The fourth part of my presentation is innovation, globalization, and development. Crossan and Apadin in 2010, they highlight innovation is production or adoption, assimilation, and exploitation of a value-added novelty in economic and social spheres, renewal and enlargement of product, services, and market, development of new methods and production, and establishment of new management system. It is both a process and an outcome. So this is a mouthful of definition of innovation. It's quite similar to the one that we already defined earlier, but there are some additional points. Innovation is not an invention. Okay, invention is basically creation of something new, and is results in new knowledge. Whereas innovation is the transformation of idea, okay, or resource into useful application. Resource info into useful application, and it result in a new product, services, or processes. So that's the what we can say the differentiation between invention itself and innovation. Basically, you can see here, innovation is larger, the big umbrella. Invention is part of the innovation process. With regard to innovation spectrum, if we look at the bigger picture, this is from Jackson 2011. where you have a plot of y-axis the resources, level of development, as I highlighted the TRL, TRL technology readiness level 1 until 9. So the discovery activities TRL 1 to 3, okay, where people in the universities get involved, government involvement normally at the very high, okay, where government giving funding to academia, to researchers, and this is where the process of inventing, starting ideas coming in, okay. And then when we move to TRL, higher TRL 4, 5, 6 probably, okay, or 4 and 5, technology demonstration. So the product itself has already been tested. It is workable at lab level, but it can be demonstrated, right? And then going into higher TRL 6, 7, 6, 7 or 6, 7, 8, or normally 6, 7 is the development stages, okay? And finally TRL 8 and 9, commercialization took place. So in terms of responsibility, the researchers, and then small businesses, investors, and then finally the industry coming into the picture. So this is basically the whole process of innovation. Right. Motivators for innovation. Innovation leads to wealth creation, catalyst for regional development, basis for comparative advantage of nation, creativity and human nature. Innovation leads to wealth creation, right? And because it's not about money, it's also solving social issues. Key value for longevity of business, sustainability of companies, source of transformative, qualitative change, source of organic growth for firms, and solution to complex problem. Those are actually motivators for innovation, right? We look if we look into the Global Innovation Index for Malaysia, year 2023. This is the latest one. 2024, not yet. Okay. When I presented this in the class last year, I presented up till 2022. If you look here, Global Innovation Index position, we are still at number 36, right? Malaysia is still at number 36, where we have innovation inputs at number 30, innovation output we are at 46. So this table shows the ranking of Malaysia over the past 4 years. Data is actually coming from the GII model framework produced by the United Nations. So you can download it. You can Google Global Innovation Index for Malaysia. You will get the full report. Okay. So basically what happened in 2023, the innovation output perform worse. So compared to innovation inputs, the less innovation output produced in year 2023 compared to the previous year. All right. So you can see the impact. There are actually factors behind it. One of it is change of government, stability of government. So also creating the points here. All right. And economy down. So many things. Our economy are still down now. Okay. So if we look into the big picture, where we are compared to the other countries, of course, our close by neighbor, Singapore, is ranked number 5. Number 6. Number 5. I'm sorry. Bit too small for me. Okay. Our neighbor ranked number 5. We are number 36. We are actually above India, Turkey, Bulgaria, Latvia. Of course, if you want to find your own country, you can find somewhere there. If it is not here, meaning that it is below. These are the top 40 countries, okay, having a global innovation index. We have China over there, ranked number 12, Japan. Unfortunately, Israel also very innovative, okay, Okay, so and the rest of the country. Right. So if we see here, is actually having these 7 elements. I'm going to talk about these 7 elements later on. Institution, human capital, research, infrastructure, market sophistication, business sophistication, knowledge and technology output, creative output. So basically, as I said, we heard just now, the knowledge and technology output for Malaysia is only, we rank number 37, right? In terms of relative to GDP, gross domestic product for Malaysia, it is performed as expected at the level of development. We are still a developed country, so we are situated there. We have all other giants, the other countries. So we sit in the middle, all right, for compared to other compared to our GDP, all right. And looking at the output versus input, input of innovation and output of innovation score, Malaysia produces less innovation output in 2023, okay, relative to the level of innovation investment. Innovation investment is, it can most of it coming from, in for the case of Malaysia, is coming from government of Malaysia. So government of Malaysia provide less input, so that's why the innovation investment is less. At the same time, incentive for companies when they do investment on innovation, and they don't get incentive a lot from Malaysia government. So that's why we sit in the middle, right? And looking at benchmark against other upper middle income group in Southeast Asia, right? So Malaysia progress is this magenta color, right? And compared to top 10 of the countries in the world, we are very far behind in all sector. How to read is basically, when we talk about human capital and research, is around 70 or 65%. Malaysia sits under 40%, and that's how we reach this chart. Okay, but nonetheless, we can see that Malaysia is about the same compared to the rest of Southeast Asia, Oceania countries. So not that bad. That's why we are sitting in the top 40 countries. In terms of the strength and weaknesses, I'm not going to dwell on all of this. What interesting here on the strength, the QS University ranking top 3, we have University Malaya, University Putra Malaysia. I'm proud to say that we are here. We are contributing to this mark as a strength for Malaysia, as well as University Kebangsaan Malaysia. The 3 top universities for Malaysia in terms of innovation. It is you should be proud you are University Putra Malaysia students. And these are the weaknesses that need to be further push in order for Malaysia to move forward. We can see here, creative good exports, total trade, we are ranked number 1. High-tech export, total trade, rank number 1. Graduate in science and engineering, we rank number 1. Those are the 3 that can be proud of. These are things that we can proud of. But we see that, for example, like environmental performance, we rank number 93. Very bad. Very bad in terms of this. School life expectancy or years is we rank number 80. Research talent percentage in businesses, we 56. So those are the things that need to be corrected in order for us to move up the rank. Remember, this is not just numbers. This related to the economy of the country as well. Right. So before we end our session, Global Innovation Index itself look into institutions, political environment, regulatory environment, business environment that are provided by the government. So that's why I said, government role is quite huge in order to get the global innovation index to be increased. And then human capital and research in terms of education, tertiary education, research and development activities, infrastructure, information and communication technology, ICTs, general infrastructure, ecological sustainability, market sophistication, credit, investment, trade, diversification, market scale, business sophistication, knowledge workers, innovation linkages, knowledge absorption, and then innovation output. And this is what we are lacking, right? Knowledge and technology outputs, knowledge creation, how many IPs, how many patents, how many trademark or copyright that we produce, knowledge impact, how the intellectual properties impact the society, the nation, okay, the people at large, and knowledge diffusion, how the knowledge being distributed to the society, and finally creative outputs, intangible asset, creative goods and services, and online creativity. All right, so this is coming from WIPO, that handle on the intellectual property organization, World Intellectual Property Organization. In summary, right, we have spent nearly 50 minutes to look into in general about invention, innovation, and entrepreneurship, research development in small business, social innovation, innovation in globalization, as well as development. Bear in mind, we are not going into very detailed explanation about what is entrepreneurship, how to become entrepreneur, and so on. But what interesting in this subject is that you are going to practice entrepreneurship in innovation. Okay, so I believe in learning by doing is better than just learning by just reading. Okay, so with that, thank you very much.